Hello my dear students, welcome to Kundu tutorial. So today we will learn the second topic of the fiber to fabric chapter, which is important for the CTET as well as the class 6. Okay, so I have uploaded the first video of the fiber to fabric, which is important basically for the CTET, and I have given the link also in the description box, so you can check if you have missed that video. So let's start the class. Second is the converting yarn to fabric. We have known already what is the fiber, how many types of fibers are there, what is yarn, and now we will teach about the yarn to fabric. Okay, so basically we have to read two process, which is converting the yarn to fabric. This is the first, this is the weaving, and this is the knitting. What is written over here of the weaving? Weaving is the process of locking two sets of yarns at the right angles. This is a very important line. Cotton yarn is usually weaved into a fabric, right? And if you come to the knitting, then knitting is the process of looping a single yarn into multiple rows to form the fabric. Woolen yarn is usually knitted into a fabric. So I hope you have got the difference between this weaving and the knitting. Weaving, it is the process of the two sets of yarns in the right angles, whereas the knitting is the process looping a single yarn. Okay, but both of the process of the yarn to fabric. Okay, now we will come to the history of the clothing material. Just you need to remember for the CTET what is weaving and what is the knitting, right? History of the clothing material, it is that early human beings used twigs and big leaves from plants and skin and fur from the hunted animals. Next, they settled in the agricultural communities and started weaving animal and the plant fiber into fabric. Right, means one and only that human only one by one stages they are going to evolve it. So they wrapped this type of the fabrics which is coming from the plant and as well as the animal which is they are hunting. These bodies they are getting the fiber and which is converting to the fabric. Next, after the invention of the sewing needle, okay, they just taught that how the fabric or how the fibers, actually the yarns, which is converting to the fabric by stitching. And last, human means we are using both synthetic and the natural fabric to stitch cloths. So whatever, this is the evolutionary thing which is coming under the history of the clothing material. From here, which is the question it may become, they can give the sequence of the history of the clothing material, right? So in this video we have converted yarn to the fabric, that is we have understood, and history of the clothing material. Next I will go to the next chapter of this class 6, okay, and as well as I will be uploading class 7 and class 8 which will be helpful for the CTET examination, right? Thank you everyone.